Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us for our first SWAAC webinar for this new school year. My name is Brenda. I am the Lone Library Administrator. I'll be who you would be communicating with any of your library needs. Here's our agenda. These are the items that we'll be going over today.
Yes, so welcome everyone. To begin on our training on the Assistive Technology Lone Library, we just want to go over the learning objectives. Participants will be able to state 3 purposes of the library. Secondly, participants will be able to state 3 different types of AT devices and/or resources found in the library. And lastly, participants will be able to describe how to access the library using the Alexandria website. So to begin, I am going to send out a pre-assessment poll, and it should show up right on your screen. It's just 3 questions. If you could take just a few seconds to complete this poll, and then we'll do the same thing at the end of the training in order to collect some data. And as you complete that, I just quickly want to introduce myself. My name is Ashley Barker. I am the Lone Library Administrator for our Tech for Tykes program. And presenting with me is Brenda Ortega. She is the administrator for the SWAAC program.
Awesome. So we're going to go over where we get our funding for our Lone Library and just some more information on that. So the Assistive Technology Lone Library, it is funded by the Colorado Department of Education. They provide equipment for students and AT professionals throughout the state of Colorado. Additionally, we do receive funding for Early Intervention Colorado, and this contributes to the purchasing of AT equipment, which is appropriate for children birth to 3 years of age. The AT Lone Library is a great program for children who are receiving Part B school-based and Part C early intervention services. Through the Lone Library, they receive AT items that can be trialed, and this helps the AT professionals to determine if it's a good fit for students. And just as a reminder, this is only for students who are receiving Part B and Part C services who are eligible to use our library. Our library does have over almost 2,000 AT devices that range from low to high-tech devices. Some of these categories include alternative augmented communication devices, otherwise known as AAC devices, adapted curriculum, adapted keyboards and mice, books and resources, and others that are listed below. And then this here is our Alexandria Lone Library catalog. This is where you go to view all of the items that our library has to offer. And you can use that link that's on that slide to go there as well. So here are the Alexandria Lone Library catalog displays all of the devices that we have available, as well as resources that are available through our Lone Library. And this is accessible to everybody, teachers, parents, and anybody in the public can view this catalog. In order to get items from the library, a person must contact either their SWAAC coordinator or the early intervention AT consultant to request equipment. And in order to do so, they have to submit a survey to get that item. And you can have access to this via the SWAAC website or the Tech for Tykes website. Okay, and the purpose of the Lone Library is to provide access to AT equipment for evaluation trial purposes. This helps people who are purchasing devices make informed decisions on whether the tech will be a good match for the individual who's using it, and also increase interaction from team coordinators and AT consultants helps them become more proficient and knowledgeable of the AT devices, and this helps them better serve the children that they are working with. The Lone Library also offers a wide variety of AT equipment, and it is a challenge to maintain a Lone Library with state-of-the-art technology. Sometimes, as new technologies emerge, some Lone Library equipments may become outdated. Other equipment also requires regular maintenance and repair. The loan library provides equipment to hundreds of children each year, but a wait list for popular items sometimes exists. But we always encourage to hear feedback from you all on how we can better improve the program or what we can do in general to make it better for everybody.
So step 2 is getting started. So we'll start with our loan library policies. All of our loan library borrowers are required to review and sign the SWAAC team agreement and loan library policies, or the loan library policies and procedures for early intervention, AT consultants, before using the loan library. So again, this is either a team coordinator, delegate, or special education director with SWAAC, or an EI AT consultant and the CCB manager. And we'll go through this in more detail, but myself and Brenda will be your point of contact for going through this process. So although you're not expected to memorize the loan library policies, please keep in mind your general responsibilities as a borrower. As a borrower, think about your own responsibility for the equipment. When others borrow through you, please consider who you are borrowing equipment for and how you will keep track of equipment passed along to other professionals. Think about, have you communicated the due date with them? How and where will the equipment be returned to you or the loan library? The educators, families, and children you work with, think about if there will be adequate supervision and support for a student trialing, say, an $8,000 communication device. Also, as a borrower, please think about taking care of the equipment and all contents as if the device is your own. Upon returning a device, please ask yourself, am I returning this equipment on time? Are all contents included? And with items that have multiple contents, we always have a content list provided, so please use that as reference. And are there any problems with the device I should communicate to the loan library staff? Again, you can always call or email Brenda or I, and we also provide a green slip of paper in every item that we send out for you to list any issues that you've had. And so at some point, please make sure you take a moment to review those loan library policies and procedures, which is linked in the handout we sent out to you. Next, getting started with your login and password. Once you have become an approved loan library borrower and signed and returned the appropriate loan library policies and procedures document, you will receive an email with your login and password. Next, we will get set up with the courier service if needed. So before requesting equipment through Alexandria, you need to verify where you will receive the equipment. If you are in the Denver metro area, you may choose to pick up and return items at our central SWAAC office, which is located at the address here. And our hours of operation are 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, with the exclusion of university holidays. If you cannot easily access our SWAAC office, you can follow these next steps to participate in the statewide courier service. The Loan Library has a paid partnership with the Colorado Library Consortium, which connects libraries throughout the state. Many of our school districts and public libraries are already a part of this system, and you can visit that website to review the list of participating libraries. Instructions here are click on printable courier codes list, then select school districts and schools below. If your district is already participating, you may be able to use that courier service free of charge through their existing contract. Next, you would need to find the person in the district who works with the courier service to learn more about the drop-off location and internal processes. Remember, you must make arrangements with your courier site. Make sure you communicate the type of items, boxes of equipment that they will be receiving. And remember, please contact Brenda or I for more guidance on this procedure. We're happy to walk you through it step by step. And if your district or organization is not currently a member of the courier stops, please again contact Brenda as if you're part of the SWAAC program, or myself if you're part of our Tech for Tykes program, to discuss your options. We can help you with setting up a new stop if needed. And again, you may choose to set up your own courier stop at your school or CCB. There's also a possibility to set up a community stop at an existing location. This could be a community college or public library. For current cost of this, please visit the website here. And again, all of these links can be accessed through the handout that was in your email.
Hey, this is actually Chris. Okay, so this is just kind of a recap of some of the steps that need to be put in place before you place that first request for a loan. So let's make sure that we have a signed team agreement, and that will include a signature from your district administrator, your special education director, the designated team coordinator, and potentially any delegates that you identify as also being approved to place requests for your district. Again, as Ashley mentioned earlier, there's a separate policy and procedure if you are a Part C early intervention AT consultant. And again, just a recap, once we have that paperwork in hand, you're going to receive a lovely email from either Brenda or Ashley that's going to step you through login information. They'll send you that username and password to get you started. And then the last piece there, of course, is the courier. We have lots of options for courier service, whether it be a library within your school district or potentially a local public library, or if you're close to Denver, you're always welcome to stop by the office. Okay, is this our next slide?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so if you're looking for that catalog, the catalog with all the information on equipment, those embedded electronic resources, you can go to the SWAAC website at www.swaac.org and choose under Loan Library, the SWAAC Loan Library Online Catalog. This is the link that's going to take you to Alexandria. And again, anybody can jump on Alexandria. You know, if you have teachers that are questioning, you know, whether or not a piece of equipment might work for a student, this is a great way for them to browse around and try to find something that might work.
Chris, can I interrupt you for a second?
Sure.
So someone in the chat asked, do the agreement and policies need to be signed every year?
Oh, that's a great question. The answer is no. Like, we understand getting the attention of a special education director or administrator can be challenging at times. We ask that you have a fresh signed document every 5 years, or a new document if you have a change in staff. So if your district has a new team coordinator or a new special education director, then we ask for a freshly signed document. But otherwise, if nothing has changed, every 5 years. Okay, so once you're on the Alexandria online catalog, you're going to see this opening page, the SWAAC Researcher, and there's all kinds of tools from this page that we want you to be aware of. The search button right here is a great option to go looking for equipment, particularly if you know what you're looking for. So let's say you're looking for a head switch. You could go into this search bar and just type in head switch, and that's going to be a great way to find that piece of equipment. The Scout can be used if you know what you want, and or maybe you just have a few keywords. The Explore function is a great option if, let's say, you know you want a piece of low-tech augmentative alternative communication equipment, or you know that you want an eye gaze device, but you don't know exactly which one. So you can go into this Explore function And all of our equipment is broken out into categories. So one of the large categories is going to be AAC. And then underneath that category is going to be low-tech AAC, high-tech AAC, eye gaze, all kinds of different kinds of AAC. So it's going to help you kind of drill down by features what kind of equipment you might want. You know what, this is a little bit older, this slide, and we were keeping all kinds of announcements up to speed on the bulletin board, but I'm not sure that we're doing that so much anymore. But it might be a place to go and find information on upcoming events. The item request survey. This is a really important function on Alexandria. If you are the team coordinator or the ATEI consultant, and you would like to place a request to borrow equipment, once you're logged in and you know what you want, you can select this button. Actually, you have to select this button and fill out this survey for us, because we have to collect data for our funding sources. CDE requires that we collect this data. So fill out this item request survey for each piece of equipment. Is it each piece, Ashley? Each piece of equipment?
Yes.
Yep, that you're looking to borrow. You'll need that completed before Ashley or Brenda are going to complete that request, before they send it out in the courier. Once you're logged in, you'll also have the opportunity to see all your due dates, see what equipment you have checked out and when they're due. I love the new item slideshow. So every time we add something new to the library, it puts it in this great little slideshow. You can see all the latest equipment from the slideshow. And then let's say you're pretty new to AT and you really don't know what's out there or what you want or what might be helpful. This is a great communication tool to directly contact one of the faculty here in the office. We're just going to ask you a few questions about your student, no identifying information, but maybe, you know, areas of struggle, what kinds of challenges they're experiencing, and then we're going to reach out and say, hey, you might look at this piece of equipment or that piece of equipment. Okay, here we are searching for items. Again, this is that search feature. Of course, here is the login, and you'll want to do that first if you're planning to check equipment out. But again, it's available to anybody and everybody. So you don't have to log in order to still use these search functions. Okay, a few more little icons that you're going to notice once the search brings up some options for you. You do have the ability to filter your search list. This library software, Alexandria, is really designed for public school libraries. And in some ways, we in this program are putting a square peg into a round hole. And so whenever we enter equipment, we're using a mediums and genre function. That sounds more like a regular library, because that's kind of what it is with software, that it's library software. But for us, mediums and genres are things like AAC or mechanical switches, right? So you could go into this filter here and try to narrow down your search. Once you find things that you kind of like and you think you might want to borrow, or you want to share a list of potential options with somebody else, you can add items to a list that you can go back and reference later. And then the little, actually it's a little hand here, right? That places a hold.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's I'm sorry, it seems like it's pointing to the wrong thing. But when you put the symbol for the hand on the book, that is what's going to allow you to place a hold on that piece of equipment. And, you know, it could be you share this tool with special educators, with speech language pathologists in your district, and they go on, even though they don't have a login, and search around, they find something they would like to borrow. There is this function right here that creates a link to that item. So let's say a special educator wants to check out a device that does optical character recognition for a student with dyslexia. They can copy this link then and send it to the team coordinator and say, hey, I found this great reading pen. I think it's going to be great for Johnny. Here's the link. It looks like really what we're doing here is showing you ways to get more information. So once you have something populated into your search, if you click on the title or the picture icon, oftentimes it will link you to a short video that is a demonstration of that product or a demonstration of how to implement that product. Sometimes it just expands and it gives you a bigger, longer description of that piece of equipment. Similarly, this drop-down arrow over here will expand the listing and give you more information. Things that you will find in that expanded description is not only a more complete description of the equipment, but you often should see a purchase price, so you have an idea of how much it costs. Sometimes you'll find links to instructions, user manuals, user guides, quick start guides. Sometimes we'll put even implementation resources in the form of like printables in that section as well. So, you know, I really like to encourage everybody, like even if you're not the team coordinator, even if you're not the AT consultant, get onto this resource and click around, play around it, because there's just so many resources embedded into the listings on the equipment. This is coming back to Scout. Again, it's just a quick search. It will also tell you whether or not this piece of equipment is immediately available for loan. And here's a better look at this explore function. We put a lot of work and time and effort into the explore function. We really had to build this out from the ground up. And the reason that we spent so much time and effort building this is because when we think about matching a student's skills, abilities, and challenges to equipment, we want to be looking at features, right? Not just whatever's in the closet. We want to look at features of technology, features of equipment. And so that's what's intended to kind of guide people through when they're thinking about borrowing equipment, right? I know that I need something to support a student who has a cognitive or behavioral disability. And so then once you click on this, well, here's some features of that kind of equipment. This one has visual prompting. This one has auditory prompting over here. And so as you click and drill down, you're kind of engaging in some feature matching, which really is best practice in AT. And again, here is the assisted search option. I think, you know, for special educators, even general educators, this can be a really nice option. You don't have to be a team coordinator or even a SWAAAC team member to use the assisted search, right? Somebody thinks that a child might benefit from a piece of equipment, but you don't even know where to start. I encourage anybody to go in and use this function of Alexandria in order to start a dialogue, a communication with the central office staff and faculty. And here's just a demonstration of how you can go in once you're logged in and check for a list of items that you have checked out. sometimes we forget everything that depending on how much you're using the library, right? Depending on how large of a district you're supporting. You might have 12 items all checked out at the same time. So this is just a tool to help you manage your work and your use of the library.
Great, thanks, Chris.
Sure.
So next, we'll talk about what happens after a hold is placed on Alexandria. So for checking out items, here are some steps to remember. So number one, search for the desired item on Alexandria, as we just went through that process. Secondly, have the team coordinator or EI consultant place a hold on the item. Thirdly, this is really important. Please make sure to complete the item request survey for each item that is placed on hold, whether or not it is immediately available. We are not allowed to send out items until the survey is complete. So even if it's not available at first, if you already have that survey completed, we'll be able to send it out to you as soon as it's available.
Can I jump in really quick, Ashley?
Yeah.
I just want to make a quick explanation on checking out regardless of whether or not it's available. We have a budget for maintaining and expanding the loan library. And if you are really interested in a piece of equipment and it's checked out, not available, if you go ahead and make a request for that item anyway, it's very possible we're going to make a decision to add another one of those things to the library. We really don't want a wait list. And the only way we really know what the demand on a piece of equipment might be and what you all need is if you go ahead and place those requests, even if it's already checked out.
Definitely. Thanks, Chris. Lastly, wait for the item to arrive at your courier stop or for the item to be ready for pickup at the SWAAC office, and you'll get notification via email for either of those situations, again, from either Brenda or myself. And again, just like Chris said, if you don't see what you need, please tell us about it. We love to hear suggestions of things you find useful. And again, if it's not available, still place the hold. That really helps us make decisions about purchasing. So again, after that hold is placed, it is critical that you fill out that item request survey. It must be done for each individual item. Again, failure to fill out that survey will result in your request to remain unfilled and more emails from us until you do. And again, you can access the survey via the main researcher page of Alexandria. It's this scroll right here. So requests are processed in time-stamped order. Equipment is sent from our office Mondays through Thursdays. When an item has been checked out, you will receive an email from us noting the day it is set out for the courier. And please take note of this date and contact us if you don't receive your request within about a week. Again, we have been, I'm sure if you've worked with us recently, you know there have been more delays than usual with the courier. So we appreciate your patience as always, but again, always let us know if it's been over a week so that we can reach out to our courier contact and start tracking to make sure it can get to you as soon as possible. Also, if you select SWAAC pickup, you will receive an email noting when it is available for you to come pick up. Please always make sure that you let us know the day and time that you'll be coming so we know that there is someone here at the office ready to let you in. And again, that is always by appointment only. So make sure to schedule that with either Brenda or I when we email you that it's available. And if requested AT equipment is not sent to you within a couple of days, that means the item is currently waitlisted or unavailable. And as always, please don't hesitate to contact our office with any questions about your pending request or current loans. And these items can be checked out for 6 weeks. This allows 1 week of transit time for delivery, 4 weeks for trial use, and then 1 more week for transit time to return those items back to us. If you would like to renew equipment, please again call or email us with any request about renewals. And if that item is not waitlisted, we can have it renewed for another 2 weeks. If a child or student needs that equipment for long-term use in order to achieve outcomes or to ensure FAPE, it is important to do everything possible to procure that equipment. And we do offer a free database service to assist individuals with procuring AT devices and services. These links are in your handout. There's one link for the AT exchange and another link for AT funding sources. And these are both really helpful resources for you. In an effort to keep our loan library borrowers informed about the status of our popular loan library items, we have a waitlist email that is sent out to all team coordinators and EIAT consultants each month. This email will provide a list of all of the waitlisted items and the name of the borrower who currently has each item, including the due date for those devices and the name of any coordinators or consultants who have active requests for each waitlisted item. The reasons we do this monthly email waitlist are that the information can help you as borrowers calculate when a device might become available. It also reminds borrowers to return that equipment on time. It's really important that we can get it to the next client or family who needs to trial it. And these emails also indicate which items are currently in high demand and may influence your borrowing decisions. And also, again, we use that information for purchasing decisions as well. And our last step is returning equipment to the loan library.
So before returning equipment, we do ask you to take a look at a couple of these things, which are, will it be arriving to our SWAAC office by the due date? Is the device clean and wrapped up carefully so there's no damage during transport? As well as are all of the items included in the box? And if there was any damage or anything broken with the device, did you fill out the note that we provide for you in there? So yeah, just make sure all of these are taken care of before we receive the item. And once we do receive the item and have it checked in back into our loan library, you will receive an email from us. And this email includes a survey. We do ask for everybody to fill this out as it does help us secure funding for our loan library. The survey is about a minute or two long. It just asks you a couple questions on your loan equipment and how that went overall. And then if you ever have questions, we do have a loan library FAQ on our SWAAAC or Tech for Type website. This document includes helpful resources or questions that are asked often. And they also answer questions on the Alexandria Loan Library. Of course, if you ever have any problems with our loan library or anything that you'd like to express over to us, you can always reach out to myself or Ashley. Our information is down below.
Thank you so much, everyone. And as always, please don't hesitate to reach out to us if you need anything.